Welcome to Idiots, Dice, and a Plan. This is a show where we're going to be playing a bunch of D&D and hopefully teaching you guys also how to play role-playing games. I'm the Dungeon Master, Zach, and there are 6 of us total, including myself. We're going to get things started nice and easily with some character creation, so hopefully we're going to be entertaining, but the one thing I will say is expect craziness from this group. We're going to go through and we're going to explain character creation. You know who you are. We're going to go ahead and begin character creation here. Well, the group has kind of already started, but we are at least going to roll some stats and see what everyone gets. And after that, we'll go around and... well, actually, why don't we meet the party first, and everyone can explain who you are and who your character is. And then we'll move on to rolling stats. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Sure.
All right, we'll start with you, Colby.
Greetings again. Let me just take you aside real quick and explain what you may have just stumbled upon. This part is for the new folks who don't really know what a role-playing game is. And what a role-playing game is a game where everyone takes on a role that isn't themselves. We are essentially playing pretend, where all the people I'm playing with take on the roles of different characters and determine what those characters do with the world that we collectively create. The rules we are using to tell this tale are those of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. We'll have these learning moments together as we progress through the series, explaining rules, character choices, and how everything is working, and maybe even give you a look at some behind the scenes at how the game is played, as well as some advice for any budding DMs and players out there.
Well, I'm Colby, and I am playing Jethman Farmer, who is a bard. He used to be a farmer, hence the last name, but he's also a bastard of the farmer, which is why he doesn't have the farmer's last name. Fun times ensue.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah.
Tell it again.
I was a farmer, but not a farmer. That's why I'm not a farmer.
Yeah.
Now we're bored.
I can dig it.
Snazzy.
All of the backstory.
You did hit all the backstory. There's much more to it, but you did hit all the backstory.
So, I'm Mike. I'm playing Yakeem, and he is he's a gnome. Other shorty.
All right.
He's a gnome cleric of trickery. And he was an urchin who decided he didn't like his lot in life, so he stole his stuff from a guard and pretended to be a guard for a while, until some people actually needed his help, and he had to actually act like a guard. But luckily, someone was looking out for him and gave him his cleric powers, and he could smite that ogre. Yeah.
Mighty important.
I'm Jordan. I'm playing Thuban Ashdaha. He is a dragon-born barbarian from the Badlands who has been sent out wandering in part because he wants to become a dragon and in part because he's eating too much of the tribe's scant resources. He looks more like a geographical feature than a person, 8 foot tall and about 400 pounds. He's massive. Not fat, muscled, but he casts a shadow, a literal shadow, wherever he walks.
I'm Marilyn. I am playing a halfling paladin of strength because I wanted to prove people wrong about halflings not being strong. Not succeeding very well, but oh well.
I'm Denise. I'm playing Zenora Maldrin. And Zenora is raised as a blacksmith. Later in life becomes a thief through some very unfortunate circumstances and is now out for revenge.
So I forgot to say my character name. I'm playing Moraine. So, yeah, that's the character name.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I guess I should say I'm a rogue. Tiefling.
Classes and
Tiefling
races
rogue.
and names, those aren't important.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Anyways.
And for those who don't know what class or race is as far as the game is concerned, race is similar to what race is in the real world, though taken to fantastical extremes. And class is a player's role and kind of defines what they can do. Let's take a closer look at those classes and races that everyone at the table just said they're playing. Starting from right to left, a half-elf is a half-elf, half-human race, while the bard class is someone who can cast spells and inspire those around them. A gnome race is only about 3.5 feet tall with some magical abilities, while a cleric class is a priest who prays to a certain god and has the ability to cast spells. A dragonborn race is someone with draconic heritage and actually has very draconic features. But the barbarian class is a strong primal warrior with the capability to go into a rage to become even stronger. The halfling race is only slightly shorter than the gnome, while a paladin class is a warrior of the gods, imbued with divine powers of smiting. And last but not least is the tiefling race, who has an infernal heritage of some sort, while a rogue class is somewhat akin to a con artist or thief. There are others not being played, but these descriptions will help you understand who is playing what.
On to more important things like my stats!
Here the players are going to roll their 6 core attributes. These are the numbers that will determine how good or how likely a character is to succeed at certain tasks. Now, these numbers can change throughout the game through character advancement, and magic, or items, but for the beginning of the game, this is what the players will be working with. There are a number of ways to determine what attribute values are what, but in this video we will be using dice rolling, in which the players roll 4 6-sided dice and take the top 3. They do this once for each attribute. The 6 attributes are Strength, Dexterity, shortened to Dex, Constitution, shortened to Con, and Intelligence, shortened to Int, Wisdom, and Charisma. These attributes help determine skills, armor, attack values, and other statistics. The other ways to determine these attributes are often either a point buy system where you are given a certain number of points to buy up the values of the 6 core attributes, or in the case of what I'm going to be doing with Jordan, I'm going to allow him to pick an array, which is a pre-assigned numbers are given to him.
I like the old tomato example that I'm going to steal from the internet real quick. Strength is how many tomatoes you can lift. Dexterity is how easily you can dodge a tomato. Con is being able to eat a rotten tomato. Intelligence is being able to tell that tomato is in fact a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put tomatoes in a fruit salad. And charisma is being able to sell a tomato-based fruit salad.
It's called salsa.
You are correct. It is called the salsa.
Tomato-based fruit salad, yes.
There's one. You guys get one.
Okay.
And here are the stats that the players rolled. The highest attributes are the best stats and provide the best modifiers to rolls. The lowest are the worst stats, providing the worst modifiers, and in some cases actually providing a penalty for using that stat. This isn't to say that it's impossible for a player to use a low attribute, simply that the character will have a harder time succeeding when that attribute is used. And players can arrange these numbers in whichever attributes they want, with each attribute getting one of the rolled or given numbers.
These give you some sort of attribute, and then there's going to be a modifier that you get with the attribute. But before we calculate our attribute, we need to finalize the attributes, because some races come with the ability to add to certain attributes. For instance, our tiefling, what are you adding?
I don't know. I'm keep looking at rogue.
Int and charisma, I believe.
Yeah, it's charisma.
Yep. That's why you're so smart.
Wait, what?
Oh, you're 15 before you add anything. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
My
the
next
old monster
We got the
stats.
beast.
Jesus. 2 good stats.
I just flip everywhere. I do acrobatics everywhere.
And
Oh,
have
I
PhD
don't
at
want-
Anyways,
Halflings.
what does our halflings have?
Halflings add +2 to dexterity, and a stout halfling adds +1 to constitution.
Okay. So, as you can see, they get to add particular attributes. What is our dragonborn adding?
Dragonborns add 2 to strength and 1 to charisma, because they're so charming.
And our gnome?
Adding 2 to intelligence because they're really smart. And forest gnomes are also very agile, so dexterity.
Gotcha. And our half elf.
Yes. 2 to charisma and 1 to 2 other stats of my choice.
All right. So yes, there are a couple that get to add them to kind of whatever they want. It's really based on which race you pick that determines what you add to those. Now, once our players have recorded their final numbers, they will get their modifiers to what they're going to get. And here's the formula to get what the modifier is. Take the number, you subtract 10, and you divide by 2. Yes, this does mean you can get a negative modifier.
Yep.
So, for instance, if you have, say, you always round down. You always round down on odd numbers, on fractions. So, for instance, if you have a 15 in something, you subtract 10, that gives you 5. Divide by 2, gives you 2.5. You round down, you get a +2 modifier to that. If you have, say, 7, like our unlucky paladin here, or, excuse me, bard, we're going to take 7, we're going to subtract 10, that gives us -3. You divide by 2, gives you 1.5, you round down, as in further into the negatives.
Oh, further into the
-2.
negatives? Dang. I was hoping I'd go to 0.
Womp womp.
Nope.
Womp womp.
The human average is somewhere around 10 or 11. In fact, all humans begin with 11.
Commoners, let's go with that.
Commoners.
Just extra
Now
special.
that they have chosen that, now that they have chosen their race, they get a lot of bonuses. They also get other bonuses for their race. For instance, what are some of the things tieflings get as racial abilities? You should it should go attributes, race, and then you go and
Okay, well, I was looking at all the cool stuff first.
I know. All right. So what do you get as a tiefling?
For which part?
You're looking at your attributes. So, like, what kind of languages do you get? What kind of...
I can read, speak, and write Common and Infernal.
Okay, Infernal. That's the devil language. I know you have a couple of other abilities there.
Power of Christ compels you.
I do have Dark Vision.
She has Dark Vision.
I do have Dark Vision.
Whoa.
Very when you attack.
She has
Dark Vision allows her to see in the dark.
Yes.
The mechanical benefit
Most
is she
bards
can
would
see...
make a save.
In dim light, she can see... Or up to 60 feet. In dim light, she can see
No, she does a dark vision.
at double the
Just you
range.
two.
She sees dim light as bright light. And darkness as dim light.
Yep.
So, and what else?
Let's see. My base walking speed is 30 feet. I'm guessing
Okay.
that's about human.
Yep, humans are move about 30 feet per round.
about
We'll describe
human
what that means
size?
in a moment.
I'm about human size.
Human
So,
size.
hellish resistance, or resistance to fire damage.
So she has resistance to fire damage thanks to her tiefling background.
Demons.
Can't be burned as a witch.
Try it! See what happens.
All right, and we'll describe what resistance means most likely when we actually get to where her resistance would come into effect. All right, so and then everyone also has abilities that come from their classes. For instance, our rogue is going to get a cool thing called sneak attack.
I get that. Oh well, that's,
She's
I am the
eventually
rogue.
going to get it, but yeah, you get certain abilities from your class.
I get that immediately.
Do you get that immediately?
1d6.
Expertise and sneak attack.
Kidney shot.
And everything else is going to come from either your class. After you record everything that comes from your race, everything is going to come from class or background. So you go through and record all of your class abilities at level 1, since that's what we're starting at. So some classes have the ability to cast spells like a bard.
Truth.
What spells did you take, by the way?
Let's see. Healing Word and Sleep for my level
Two
1s.
best level 1 spells.
And Mage Hand and Prestidigitation for cantrips, because why not?
I thought bards didn't get prestidigitation.
It's on the list.
Why would they get that?
I don't know. I never picked it up as Jordan, though. So.
I need you to be a different color. That's a part.
This is important to me.
Anyways, we also have
One.
it's 3 technically. I've done it 3 times. You guys have just been looking elsewhere. I have a nasty habit of always doing a face palm anytime something ridiculous happens. So
Does that count?
We're marking that.
No, you're not.
That was a
I'm
nice-
editing. I'm determining what's not taken.
Half the cards?
It's not a half.
No.
Tyrant.
We already established half our cards were Rikers.
Half the cards were Rikers? Okay,
Yes.
so we're going to put Rikers.
1/4 maybe.
Rikers. And so 2 per
It's
card.
almost there.
Yeah.
We got that count right? Okay, good.
I mean, He hasn't saddle approached a chair yet, so I don't know if that counts.
What is this, a LaForge?
No, that's
Right,
too
Jordy.
cool. LaForge is too cool. I did get another one out.
Hate you guys. Hate you guys so
Put
much.
that there.
In any case, so some classes have the ability to cast spells. These will be determined, and you can choose them by what your class will actually tell you.
A note on spells and spellcasters. Each character with the ability to cast spells casts those spells in very different ways. The two major ideas of magic are the arcane magic, which comes from the magical energy that is within the world or within the person, while divine magic is more of a spiritual or godly magic. Also, how spells are prepared is different based on class as well. The bard, for instance, picks his spells at character creation and can add to them or change them only when leveling up. So the spells he chooses, Healing Word, Sleep, Mage Hand, and Prestidigitation, are the only spells that he has access to until he gains another level in bard or another spellcasting class. The cleric can change spells on his spell list whenever he takes a long rest, which we will describe in a later learning moment. When he chooses those spells after a long rest, he has access to those until he changes his spells during another long rest. Also, there is the idea of leveled spells and cantrips. Cantrips can be cast as many times as the player desires within certain restraints, and leveled spells only have so many spell slots that can be used per long rest.
What spells you can take, and they'll be in the back of the book. Alright. So. Alright, I suppose I should actually describe the setting we're going to be going into here now that we've kind of done that. Oh, yes, and backgrounds. For instance, would you choose as our tiefling? What background did you choose?
My background?
Yes. She hasn't chosen a background yet.
Yep.
Marilyn, what have you chosen for a background?
So I started as an acolyte.
Okay.
Basically, I was kind of started as a priest in a temple and kind of going through. That was my career before I decided to become a paladin. So you get a lot of kind of traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws because of that. Well, probably flaws because of natural personality, but you can go through and select it. You can make up your own, but you can select it from the book. So, yeah.
With personality traits, some equipment, as well as additional sometimes skills, sometimes tools, sometimes you gain proficiency in these items. And you also gain proficiencies in saves and skills from your class as well.
At this point, the characters are going to record their extraneous stats, hit points, saving throws, skill, tool, and weapon proficiencies, gear, and background/class traits. All of these are determined by their race, class, and background that they chose earlier. A quick rundown on what each of these items are. Hit points are a character's health and represents how much punishment a character can take. These are determined by your class and your constitution modifier. A saving throw is something where the player isn't specifically attacked but must resist an effect in some way, whether it be jumping out of the way of a boulder or overcoming a mind effect. Skill, tool, and weapon proficiencies are particular skills that are associated with certain tasks. For instance, spotting something would be perception, while attacking would be a weapon proficiency question. Proficiency bonus is determined by character level and added to any role in which the character would be considered proficient by either your race, class, or background. The players start with a +2 proficiency bonus at character creation. Each skill, saving throw, weapon, or tool proficiency has a parent attribute that is associated with it. So when asked to roll that skill, the character will add the attribute modifier, and if proficient, their proficiency bonus as well. Gear is the gear you carry on you, and these are determined by your class and background. And a final stat is armor class. which is often shortened to AC, which is determined by your armor and or your dexterity. You will notice that I have not made a character. That is because as Dungeon Master, or as it's known, the DM, I don't get to play a singular character as everyone else at the table does. This is because I actually get to play all the other characters in this tale. I get to play the guards, the villains, the allies of the players. I'm also part referee, making sure the rules are followed and interpreted, and how the rules are applied to any situation. Part storyteller, determining how the world reacts to the players, and part lawyer, making sure the characters stay in line. Now that we have established the characters and myself, let's establish the world.
So what we're gonna, I have created a world for this group, and it's going to start on. Yes,
This is the world.
It's a
I'm
world.
helping.
Pretty
Yes.
sweet earth, you might say.
It starts. We're going to begin our adventure on the continent of Dragon's Mount. In the middle of this continent, there is a very tall mountain. Think
Dragon.
Yes,
Does a
it does
dragon-
house a dragon.
Whoa! How did I know?
It's almost like I sent you guys the backstory beforehand.
I was going off the name, but yeah.
Dragon's Mount, yes, it houses a gold dragon, which is a good dragon. He has held the world together and defended it from evil, but of late he has not been seen. Now, it's not unheard of for him to sleep for centuries at a time, but him not being heard of for a millennia, now that's something new. Also, he usually speaks to people in their dreams. He hasn't been doing that lately. Last one was a couple months ago, which actually was a bunch of nightmares that racked the town. So there have been those who have been speaking out against the dragon that maybe the gods have forsaken him. Perhaps he's dead. Well, we don't know because nobody's gone up the mountain to check. Because who wants to climb a Himalaya-style mountain to check on the Dragonborn Wood? The Dragonborn Wood.
I feel like we're gonna do it at some point.
How do you know that? I don't know.
Why would I know?
My god told me.
Just get a
All right,
horse so
Laura.
you can go straight
Yeah, but
up
he's
the
a
mountain.
trickster god, so he's probably lying anyway.
In any case, we have the dragon in the middle, and out beyond are the vast plains, forests, and mountains. And at the very edge of a range of mountains called the Glacial Spear Peaks is a small town. And in this town, well, it's a moderate-sized town. It's 1,500 souls or so. In this town is an inn called the Sleeping Boar Inn. Yes,
Sounds cozy.
it does sound cozy.
It's awesome.
It's so cozy.
Sounds
That's why we
snuggly.
stopped in, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
The gods that we are using for this are the Norse pantheon. For instance, we have
Loki!
and
Thor.
we're reenacting Avengers.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's the fight of the small people.
Well, the only important fights, at least.
4. Oh,
Picards.
Picards? Yes.
What,
So we're at the sleeping
All
boar
right.
inn.
We're at the sleeping
Or
boar inn.
rather, we're
Yeah.
focusing
we're
on
at the Sleeping Boar Inn, and let me get some music up here to represent the boar.
Because apparently they have a nice band.
Well, a bard, at the very least.
At
Who
least
might
a
be a
bard.
little drunk. I don't know, Kobe, are you very drunk?
Maybe not very.
He's working at it.
I was actually assuming Dropkick Murphy. Can you play bagpipe? That'd be awesome.
No, I did not drink that.
Ah.
What instrument did you take?
Lute, fiddle, and flute.
So whenever he's asked to play the lute, fiddle, or flute, he gets proficiency bonus in those. Now, we begin our small tale. The inn it's not a super quiet inn, but everyone's being very personable. This is a small mining town with a good number of dwarves, but the populace is mostly human. A few elves, and some halfling traders rolling through. We begin with our bard playing to a
Switching out
small
of beer.
crowd of various people. There's a couple of dwarven miners
This thing works.
playing.
Like doing it really well.
Why don't you describe for us what your character looks like?
Well, seated, he's not quite as tall, but, fairly tall, about 6 feet tall. Light brown hair, tanned skin, still pale, according to his complexion, but just kind of an average-looking dude.
Average looking dude.
With a smile on his face because, well, he's been drinking and now he's doing what he likes. He's playing music. Very proud of me.
Alright. Next in, we're gonna have step in. We'll have the door will open up, and in will walk a hulking brute of a lizard. Yes.
Through the door comes an 8-foot tall dragonborn. He's almost as broad as the doorway itself, and he has a massive glaive on his back. He's wearing very loose robes. Most of his skin is showing. You can see his scales are a dusty bronze color. And he looks around at everyone, and then you hear a deep rumble. You think for a moment it might be him growling, but then he slowly clutches his stomach. And he just walks forward to some random person. Says, "Do you run this place? Can I buy food from you?"
That would be the barkeeper.
And then he just stomps over there.
Okay, so we'll assume he's going to attempt to purchase some food. Next, we'll walk in, and everyone's kind of giving a weird look, because Dragonborn aren't super rare in these parts. In fact, there's a particular tribe that defends this town, or helps defend it as part of their trade agreement. But this is big. He is massive. But shortly behind him, in comes a...
quite short, halfling paladin. Just got black hair, and like Caucasian, kind of white, hammer slung over her back with a light hammer at her side. Comes and asks her a pint at the bar and struggles to get up onto the tall seats. Gets oh well, thank you,
Just
sir.
holds you up so you can
Thank
place
you.
your order.
Can I get on the stool, please? Thank you. So I'd like one small ale.
Okay,
Because
she
it's
orders her
large.
drink. Next will come in another short folk.
Walking in, he kind of looks like a guard. He's got a scale mail and a shield, but the shield just kind of has a smiling face on it. Watchman style, I guess. But he's got green hair and looks kind of weird. Not quite like a halfling, but close enough to
Alright.
most people's eyes.
Yeah, because when the door opens, you just can't see either of them.
Hey, but I see that someone has elevator service to the bar, so I'm going to Yeah.
And I just hold him up for a while. Do you want a stool too?
Oh, yes, please. This is a nice bar. Oh, thank you.
And the final one to walk in.
It's a pretty average size female in some cloaks covering the face. Purple skin. Can't see the black horns yet.
Where's your tail? Curled up underneath the cloak?
It's trying to be. It's
Occasionally
really
it'll
trying
just-
to be. Yeah. Occasionally my cloak moves on its own. But it's a pretty big tail. I just
Not to brag.
wander in and disappear, go around a corner and sit in a corner somewhere.
Okay.
Sneak in.
Sneak in.
Sneaky.
The darkness follows her.
I am the darkness.
Anyways, so the party is in the bar. We're going to assume the bard is the one playing at the bar.
I mean, occasionally.
Apparently not right now.
He has some serious drinking to do between solos, so you know.
and also in the tavern, a few dwarven miners, a halfling trader sitting talking with looks like a big hulking He's a man, definitely not Thuban's size, but a bigger man who's talking with him, kind of hunched over, and they're chatting. It sounds like it's probably about some sort of trade route. It's not overly crowded, but everyone's kind of got a hushed tone. And in walks a half orc. He is not quite orc. He's not a full orc. He was born to a human mother, and he walks in. He's got kind of a saunter with him, and in follows him another figure, very short. This one very short. Another halfling, blonde hair tied back into a bun, kind of loose, with it being tied back though, and he's got a little bit of a nick you can see under his left eye.
Fresh Nick?
No, not a fresh nick. The half-orc has a broken tusk, but he's finely dressed. He has a big vest, and everyone seems to give him a wide berth when he walks in. And his trousers are very well made. You would know this man.
I probably would.
Can I know what table they're going towards? Like, see them where they're headed?
He's actually headed towards the bar.
Oh, that's
Where he
That's fine.
probably hears Thuban arguing with a barkeep. It's called the Sleeping Boar Inn. You don't have any of the meat, though.
I'm sorry. Somebody else came in and bought the last boar we had. It was the Lord. What am I supposed to... I can't say no
Do
to
you have
him.
anything that isn't soup? That's water food. It doesn't count.
We have some venison.
Fine. Thank you. And just stand staring.
Let me get that for you real quick.
So where that fellow's coming up to the bar, can I find an empty spot where there should be a seat and make a seat with some illusion magic?
Now he's going to be casting a spell, folks. Which spell is it?
Minor illusion.
It's a cantrip.
Minor illusion.
Alright, so there are certain levels of spells called cantrips, which can be cast as often, pretty much, as somebody wants to do it, as long as they can. So yeah, you managed to find one. He'll kind of walk up, kind of, here's a good spot. And he lifts up the halfling and drops him right through it. Kind of growls, looks through the bar.
I've
Praise
procured
the-
a beer from somewhere.
The barmaid brings you one.
Or that.
Or that. Sure, she totally brought me one.
Now, you know that you would know, the bard would know this man as Grugnar. He's a half-orc who is son of a local orc tribe chieftain. His being here keeps the town free.
Oh, I think someone
Orcish
great.
So a hostage.
Kind of. So
So he
but
probably
at the
thinks high
same
of
time,
himself.
huh?
He probably thinks very high of himself.
He does. Hence why he also gets treated very well in town.
So somebody needs to put him in his place.
Sounds like he's the head of organized crime in the town, too.
A couple of other guards walk in. They don't appear to be following him. These are more off-duty guards. A couple more folks. The sun's kind of getting a little bit low, so everyone's kind of coming out of the day of work and kind of deciding to grab a drink.
That man needs
The elevator's very noisy.
And the music got more lively. He's had enough to drink where
Yep.
it's
damn
not
right.
Yeah.
depressing and melancholy.
All right.
Can't drink
so
the bar.
He eventually kind of looks up and he sees three strangers that he doesn't know sitting at the bar.
Pints.
He comes
Yeah.
up.
How do you live being so small? Is it easier to find food?
The pints are larger for us. It's
Yeah.
great.
If you were smaller, you could actually subsist on less.
Exactly. An entire loaf of bread is a dinner for me. It's fantastic.
You see, you were the wrong size.
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
Interesting. I hadn't thought of it that way.
Now keep in mind, none of our players have met each other, but they're getting along very well, as new players should.
I can agree with someone who's the correct size.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Except I can kill a bear.
I can kill a bear too. It just takes me a couple tries.
There's the difference. And he just puts down like a haunch cleared of meat. And you hear his stomach growl again.
Oh man.
I'm seeing the advantage in our
Shifts over.
argument. I guess we are bite-sized, though.
Yeah. It's a little bit worrying.
Eventually, the half-orc comes up to you. I haven't seen you folks in town.
Thuban like snaps his head around, almost like an animal.
Friend. Hey, buddy.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Sorry, we're a bit quiet. Although with these big boots, I don't know how. Perhaps I can buy you folks a drink.
Fantastic.
I'll take a pint.
She's got 2 in front of her already.
Just one small pint.
Just
Does
one
soup
small one.
count as a drink? I'm still hungry.
The bartender, I thought it didn't count as food.
He said it's a drink, though. It's halfway.
He kind of looks at a pint and then looks at the bone between that and that.
I'll get
called
you
liquid
some
bread.
stew in a mug.
Thank you. Thank you.
He says to the half-orc.
He's very off-put by the giant man who's talking to him. He's like, so I haven't... The half-orc anyways continues. So I haven't seen you folks in town.
We're new.
Well, that would be good. If you had seen us, then you have precognition.
I don't live
We haven't
here.
Yeah.
From the next valley over.
But you seem like a fine fellow.
Well, you got my drinks for people and, you know.
Get to know them.
Why are your tusks smaller than the ones outside the camp in the Badlands?
That would be because I consider myself more refined.
Don't talk about a man's tusks. That's rude.
Yeah, the size of a man tusk doesn't matter.
It's how he uses
The motion of the chewing. Picard.
Thank you for the drink.
And Thuban takes the mug of stew and
Let her sit
You know,
loudly.
that's really hot. I can see you don't care.
Clearly not.
Like he knows
So,
what he is.
now we're going to do a roll.
And now we get to the first roll of the game. Before we roll the dice, allow me to explain what just transpired. Everyone took on the role of their characters and acted out how their characters would act in the given situation. With myself playing Grugnar, the barkeep, and any other people who happen to be there in the scene as well. I determine the scene, but the players tell me what they want their characters to do. And if there should be some chance of failure, we get to rolling dice. Now, the roll that we're going to be rolling is going to be a stealth roll, and I'm going to be rolling it. And when I say that we're going to be rolling a stealth check, that means that I'm going to roll a 20-sided die. It's also called a D20. This is the format used for all dice rolls in role-playing games. A number before the D tells you how many dice are being rolled. The number after the D tells you how many sides those dice happen to have. So 1d20, you're rolling one 20-sided dice. An ability will tell you if you're rolling something different than a d20, but a d20 is going to be rolled for all attacks, skills, and saving throws. The number that was rolled on the d20 is then added to the attribute most related to the skill, and if proficient in the roll, the proficiency bonus is also added. This number is then compared to a difficulty class, often called a DC, and if the number is equal to or greater than the DC, the roll succeeds. If it's less than, it fails. The DC in this case is the passive perceptions of the group.
You see the halfling kind of start moving behind them, but you guys are engaged in conversation, and
Probably should actually eat something.
By his statement, he failed horribly.
It is not a good.
other way around.
Oh man. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I don't know whether
You
the
have
DM
like
feels...
the height like advantage.
I do. I'm on the stage.
Oh, you're on a stage?
Kind of.
you've seen this happen before.
That is.
You know exactly what he's doing.
Oh, okay. I get it. Never mind.
So
I'm actually looking at the bar and the people behind it,
Ah,
whereas you guys are looking not behind
so
barkeep.
you. Yeah. That's how that works.
So, and each other.
does anyone
yes.
have a passive perception of 17 or more?
Nope.
Ha,
No.
13.
nope.
All right.
No.
12.
So you don't really feel much, but you do. The halfling comes up and clambers up onto the stool next to you on the other side of the.
Without even looking.
So,
Oh, well, thank you, mate. It's good to have a tall one to help you out.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, you're very
Thanks,
pretty.
elevator.
You're very pretty.
Hi.
God.
No. But
Well, anyways, welcome to town.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
my friend. He likes to buy drinks for all the new peeps.
all right.
I don't know why you're sorry for that.
Yeah.
No.
Don't apologize. We appreciate it.
Well,
Why are you sorry? You feel guilty about something?
Yeah.
I'm just joshing you. Here, have some of the drink.
roll an insight.
No.
All right. So you happen to roll. What did you roll?
3.
A 3. Now a 3 plus whatever his insight happens to be
That'd be a 6.
puts it up to a 6. It does not beat the deception of our little halfling friend as he goes, no, I got... What? Anyways, yes. So, perhaps I could help you show you around town a little bit, or...
Are you normally this helpful for all the newcomers?
Well, we like to show that we're a welcoming town!
Well, that's good.
Do I see fat money bags on the orc?
No, but you do... Roll perception real quick.
I've seen them do this before, right?
You know what's going on.
All right.
We roll a 12.
D20.
D20.
Now that the music stopped, I'm going to walk up to the bar for another drink.
Perception.
You, music man.
Yes.
They're buying drinks for people.
Oh, they're also stealing from you, so watch out for them.
Wait.
Immediately, Thuban reaches out and he grabs the halfling by the scuff and the half-orc by his throat. And he slowly starts squeezing.
Oh.
You
It back.
You immediately hear seats push back as guards stand up, miners stand up, everyone's getting
I
ready
stand
for,
up.
Yeah,
Oh,
everyone's
man.
getting... don't know what you're talking about.
He's telling the truth.
I mean, I really
drop
need
off
to
my
say,
seat.
check your purse strings, not that they actually did it yet. but-
Thuban looks down to his gold pouch.
Yeah. Look,
Your gold pouches are not there.
yeah. Look.
Oh.
Oh, he's right. But
Well-
Thuban, his talons are getting closer and closer.
At which point a guard comes up, one of the miners, hey buddy, maybe you should lay off.
Thuban just looks over. There's almost no humanity left in his eyes at this point.
as we have gone off the stools and everyone's watching this scene, can I get my gold back?
Roll sleight of hand.
I have a 13.
He did not see you.
How much did I get?
Can you get mine too? You don't know what mine looks like, unfortunately.
And
My
just going
passive
around.
is 13. Would I have,
Roll, what?
my passive
That's
is 13.
gold, yeah.
Would I have seen him?
You might see him kind of like come up and just pull him off of him while he's like, and while you're
Okay.
looking at this guy, you just see you turn back just in time to see a giant fist just.
I think I have my gold back. And I just throw the half-orc.
Everyone roll initiative as punches have been thrown,
Oh man.
and
Thuban does not take
for
contact.
some
my
reason the
God.
guards seem to be taking the side of the half-orc.
I wonder why.
Alright, now that punches have been thrown, it's time to start a fight. Fighting is the most rules-heavy of all the rules in just about any RPG. When battle begins, I ask the party for initiative. Every game has its own way of determining who goes first, but when initiative is called in Dungeons & Dragons, the players roll a d20 and add their dexterity modifiers. After we know who goes first, the players act in order of initiative from highest to lowest. On their turn, every character can move up to their full movement, take one action, and take one bonus action. An action will tell you if it's a bonus action or just a regular action. Actions that can be taken would be attack, dash, which allows the character to move up to their full movement again, dodge, which helps reduce successful attacks, among other actions. If it's not defined as an action, it is up to me to determine whether something a player wants to do is an action or a bonus action or possibly even a free action, which takes up little to no time. Also, once per round, though not necessarily on a character's turn, every character has a reaction that they can also take. The most common being the opportunity attack, which is when someone moves away from a character, that character can use a reaction to attack the moving character, even though it's not their turn.
So, here's what we're going to do, though. We're gonna do one that makes a little bit more sense to me. So we're gonna go up. Who got more than 20? Nobody. Okay. Who got more than 15? What'd you get?
18.
Nice.
18. Yakeem got 15?
18.
18. Memory's so bad. Yeah, the enemies, I rolled them all together just to make my life not terrible and having to suddenly have a turn for every single person in the bar. I rolled them at a 15, so they would go after Yakeem. Yakeem goes first. All right, who got between like a 10 and 15? Okay.
I got a 12.
13.
11.
So
Marine.
Music's off the upbeat.
Yeah, you're
Oh.
like replacement.
You gotta
Going.
start playing some Final Fantasy music or something.
I'll break out the fiddle, sure, why not? Devil went out of Georgia.
All right.
Ah, wow, we got a whole band.
Yeah, I might turn that down ever so slightly.
A little bit.
There we go.
anyways, and who got you got 12?
Yep.
Dubin?
Don't hurt the musicians.
Colby?
11.
What was your character's name?
Jethan.
Old Jeffy. Old Jeffy. Old Jeffy.
7.
Woo!
I rolled a 3.
Oh, wow.
What was your character's name again?
Sonora.
Zenora.
She doesn't remember.
Hey. I got it
Alright,
eventually.
so Yakeem goes first.
It looks like you're drawing aggro, so I kind of like your style. So does Loki. So, blessing is upon you. Shield of Faith.
Thank you.
Alright, so now what Mike is doing is he's casting a spell. And this is a leveled spell, this is not just a cantrip. So he only has so many of those that he can cast per day, which Yakeem has 25 feet of movement.
Indeed, which I'll be utilizing.
Skip.
So now, keep in mind, moving out of now, Shield of Faith is a bonus action.
Yes, it is. So I'm going to equip my shield as well.
Okay. Are you going to disengage as your action while you
No.
move?
My action is to equip the shield.
Okay, so action is to equip. So he
Let's
now
see how
has a shield
brutal this halfling wants to beat me to death.
out. He's just gonna hit you with fisticuffs.
Oh, he's pissed at me. He's realizing that I took something from him.
Yes.
Most of his dignity.
Aw.
Well,
Halflings have dignity?
Oh. Oi, mate.
She's going to throw you through a window now.
A very low to the ground window.
I know, she can probably get some height.
Yeah.
She's got to swing a little bit.
I started drinking.
Alright. He rolled a
Yeah.
he rolled a
12
whopping
ounce curls.
No. He rolled an 8.
Yeah. He
He's petting
Something
your
along
shield.
those lines.
yeah.
Alright, now the enemy that was his reaction that he got to do that with. Now the enemies get to go. The one guard next to you is gonna try and grapple you. He's gonna
Okay.
try and grab onto you.
So is that I need to roll athletics
Yes. And you
or
can
strength saving throw.
No, it's athletics or acrobatics.
Okay, cool.
So now with a grapple, because it's
20.
he's doing this as an action, and he kind of tries to get on you, and you just push him right off. So that's not a grapple.
I felt
However,
some light slaps on my back as he jumped up.
they seem to be ignoring you.
No one knows I'm here.
Yeah, we see you. You think you're hiding.
The problem is
I don't know.
you're so inconspicuous, you become conspicuous again. It's like getting the high score and then ticking back up.
God.
They're going to move in on the. They saw you cast a spell, so 2 of them are going to move towards him. try to subdue him.
Little old me.
Yeah, 2 of them are going to move towards Thubin, and the others, they're not. One of them, they're not. They, unfortunately, because they only have 30 feet of movement, and that distance is farther than 30 feet. They don't actually get to attack him. They just get to move up to him. So, meanwhile, the halfling.
Which one's the halfling? Well, not me, but which one's
Yeah, that
the
one in
that's
front
the,
of
the
He
little
should
halfling?
he should be on the other side.
He should be on the other. So that's the halfling.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's basically just gonna try to punch you off. Of
I'll take the creepy halfling. So I'll do
But you said
fistic.
you were so pretty.
Yeah, thank you. No, I'll take the creepy halfling.
What's your AC?
12, I think. What's chainmail?
Chainmail is 16. Do you have a shield?
Chainmail 16.
Oh, no, chainmail is.
I do.
Yeah, chainmail
I
is
do have a
16.
shield.
He
I
does
forgot
not
what-
18. You have 18
18?
AC.
If you have your
I had forgotten.
If
You
what-
have your
shield
shield
out.
out.
True.
If I have my shield, but I don't have my shield out, so it's just chainmail. So
He
I have
still misses.
16?
I don't know
Okay.
what's mine.
Awesome.
He misses with a 15.
All right.
This is mine.
Cool.
Oh, good.
I'd forgotten
So
what all of
didn't
that.
quite hit her with the punch he was trying to throw.
16 shield 18. Awesome. All right. Does a 12 hit?
I don't think it does.
Okay.
Are you not adding? Did
These guys are wearing all
Yeah,
their
it's-
armor and shields. And so.
Yeah, I added
They
my
are guards.
strength.
Yeah, but still.
Is that
Well,
it?
the halfling isn't a guard, actually.
missed by 1? Missed by 1.
Dang it. All right.
All right, Thubin, what are you doing?
Does the half orc not go?
Oh, the half orc is going to
Oh,
attempt to
whoops.
get out of
I-
your grapple.
Okay.
Went before the half.
So, what roll?
Okay,
Yeah,
Sorry. 10 on that one. I'm not raging yet, so.
roll the 5.
Okay.
Wow.
That's pretty special.
Yeah, he's like.
So
good.
Thuban goes. And you see that any life in his eyes goes completely dead, and they become like serpent's eyes. He just drops the half orc and he whips out his glaive, and he just smacks him on top of the head with the flat of the blade, or he tries to. He isn't. He flipped it before he hits them. He's trying to hit it with the flat. 18.
18 will hit.
Bludgeoning?
6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, he's up, but
And can I?
Jetham, are you gonna do anything?
Poppies will make them sleep.
What?
Poppies will make them sleep. 6. 16 and 20 hit points worth of creatures.
20 hit points worth of creatures.
Creatures.
Smallest
What
up.
is that?
No, I mean it's not creatures, but
Enemies.
Enemies. 20 hit
Does
points
it-
worth of enemies.
Oh, does it say enemies, not creatures?
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
Or sorry, what are
He's
what are you
casting
using?
sleep.
Casting sleep.
Oh, okay, on
And,
everybody.
they,
like that-
and,
I like
and,
that
and in
spell
this
phrase.
edition,
Poppies
will
they
make
don't
them
get they don't get saves.
No.
It's
Oh.
just you fall asleep.
So basically, yeah.
And it's lowest up. So
Oh,
It starts
okay,
at the
awesome.
it starts at the low end of things.
see if these are minions.
They are minions, so hopefully not too high.
Unfortunately, the halfling and the half orc are not minions. Well, they're minions,
sense.
but not. They got a little bit more top to it. The 2 guards nearest you just fall over.
These two.
Ugh. Yeah, they both fall over.
Hey, buddy. You look sleepy.
Zenora, are you doing anything?
Do these guys have fat money bags?
They got a little bit of gold on them.
Alright, I'm gonna sneak over and do some sleight of hand.
You're distracted.
Yeah!
Yeah, right,
Why
trying
not?
Trying to pick on the poor gnome. Jeez. I'm such a
I
threat
saw
over
him
here.
in his sweet moves. I wanna.
Get some
Give
of
me
that.
okay, so you can move over there and give me a sleight of hand check too. You have not made yourself as aggressive, so they are not going to really pay attention to you. But you can move in behind them, and then give me a sleight of hand check.
It was here.
If I take both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so give me a sleight of hand check real quick.
Beat my impressive.
And if I'm
13.
trained in it, it gives me my dex modifier, yes.
It gives you your dex modifier
And
and
your
your
proficiency
proficiency
bonus, which is a
bonus.
+2.
Take the letter. Wrong character.
Nice. You succeed.
19.
Nice.
You
They
succeed.
both turn around. And they
Well-
say nothing.
Monsters, yeah.
You have an additional 6 gold on you.
You hide behind your
turn?
shield.
Yakeem, yep.
Okay, so looking over here, I'm going to persuade them that, hey, the big guy is still in charge. Look, he took out 2 of your friends. You should go help them. I'm no threat.
Deception.
You mean persuasion?
Pers-
To be fair, I probably look more like the threat right now.
Probably.
13 persuasion or 11 deception. I'm not lying.
You're not lying.
No.
But they did see you cast a spell, and one of them looks to his friend, you hold this one, I'll go get the dragon.
That's good. That's fine. That's fine.
The dragon!
Yeah, and then it's his turn, it's their turn. So yeah, he kind of reaches down, puts a hand on your shoulder and says, you're still gonna have to come with us. He's gonna move over as close as he can, and try to get the dragon.
Over his allies?
Well, over his allies.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
you
'cause
can-
he can
well,
do
he's
that.
just like stop, like
I forgot they can do that, so, yeah.
Just walk right
So-
step
over.
over the
You can
sleeping
still attack
bodies.
me.
Yep. Anyways, after that, he's going to attempt to try. With you pulling your weapon out, he has a dagger on him. He's going to attempt to
Sure,
pull
yeah.
out.
Is that even gonna hit you? Like,
That's all.
So, I like how you can see what I'm rolling.
Sorry, I shouldn't look over.
It's okay.
Cheated.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, you're the biggest cheater ever.
Oh my gosh!
Come
How
on,
dare you actually
screen
see what I
peeking.
roll and keep me honest?
Screen peeking.
I rolled a natural 1. In attacks, a natural 1 is an automatic miss.
Loki protects.
So he goes up, he runs up, and he just kind of, so he went. His buddy's going to attempt
This
to
one right here.
grab,
This one.
Yeah,
he
the other
went.
one. Yeah,
Okay.
the other one's going to step up to Thuban. Well, actually, he would have seen you cast that spell.
Spellcasting focus in my hand.
he's playing
I'm
alert.
playing alert.
Hey, but you can already tell if their Arcana check's really high to know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did not roll, but he's kind of like, he kind of eyes you severely and then goes to try to grab the weapon from Thuban, the obvious threat. Go ahead and roll.
The obvious threat.
And I'm at advantage because right now I'm still raging.
Yes.
So,
Last learning moment of the session. Jordan just mentioned advantage. Advantage is a game mechanic that allows the players to roll 2d20s and take the better of the two. The inverse of this is disadvantage, where a player rolls 2d20s and takes the worse of the two. Any amount of advantage or disadvantage applied to the same roll always cancels out to be a straight roll of 1d20. Even if you have 2 advantage to 1 disadvantage, it's still just a straight 1d20 roll. Advantage and disadvantage can come from a number of sources, including character traits, positioning, or simply given out by the DM because they feel it's warranted.
12 only.
He got an 11.
Alright.
Nice.
So he just reaches up for it, and you're just like, get off.
Mine.
All right.
So, the half orc or the
The
half.
half orc, he's going to attempt to get out of your grab.
Oh, no, I threw him down to attack him because it's a two-handed weapon. I need to.
Yeah, he
Is that or
he pulls out a short sword that you didn't see that he had in his vest.
Whoa, that's not
And he goes to attack.
Pulling weapons, he would do such a thing.
Such a
Yes.
foolish thing.
He rolled a 22.
Yeah, he hits. Unless it's
So I rolled a
magical,
19 plus 3.
Nice.
You take 2 damage.
and then I have that.
Do you have it yet?
I'm raging, yeah.
Okay.
So I take 1. No, I can rage at level 1.
Yeah, but the bear.
And you take bear. No.
Oh, it's
You get resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and
yeah.
slashing. Non-magical.
Yeah.
So I assume it's not magical.
you take 1.
Alright. It just against my
Yeah.
scales.
And you see his eyes go wide as he's immediately regretting his decisions. Meanwhile, the
Stakes are
about
made.
time.
Mistakes were made.
the halfling knows you well enough to know what's going on. He's like, hey, hey! And he like leaps. He leaps past you. You get an attack of opportunity.
Awesome.
On him as he
All right.
leaps past you and attempts to nail you with a dagger.
Like
He's
wrestling
got-
move, like
I'm not done with you yet. Never
Slow.
mind. Wait, hang on. I'm lucky, so I rolled a nat 1, but I'm
So you
lucky,
can- so you
so I
can
can
roll
re-roll
it.
ones.
Yes.
Does that recharge on a short rest for halflings?
No, they
No,
just
that's
get it.
That's
Oh,
my. That's
wow.
my
Okay, I didn't realize it was that.
So when it's
Yeah.
a halfling attacks another halfling, one of them's not.
I don't hit.
Well, he doesn't hit either. So he comes dashing, and you're just like, woo!
No, neither halfling
my
or lucky.
reach to do that at all?
Luke is a little bit faster.
Neither halfling or lucky this time.
No,
I
well, at least
assume
we didn't do
not.
it once.
No,
Because you have
no,
to
he
keep- you
wouldn't.
have to
No,
keep
he
the
wouldn't.
second
So
one.
he leaps across.
Yeah, he leaps over. He's like, ah!
Wouldn't he get an attack of opportunity against Thuban as well?
No, he hasn't
No.
left my reach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have a reach weapon, which means I can hit people further away, and I can do opportunity attacks when they're
Farther.
just pass through my reach. But it
Oh,
also
okay.
means that if they're still within my reach, like
You don't.
5 feet, nothing happens.
Gotcha. All right.
Graham, what are you doing?
Okay, I'm still not done with you yet, so I turn around and deck him.
Get
Okay.
back here!
All right, you're not working.
I'm doing my best.
So 13.
13 will hit.
Yes.
Oh,
Two matches.
wow.
All
Matches are
right.
hits.
So he takes 3.
All right.
Thuban.
Still think I'm
So
pretty.
Thuban's gonna keep going after this this half orc who tried to steal from him. He's very angry. I don't think I hit though. 8. So
Let's see.
8.
yeah,
No.
I rolled a 3.
So he nimble for a half orc at least, dodges up.
I did. I got an 18.
Yeah, you hit him.
Okay. So
Beating him with a rapier. You're about to full mount like.
ouch.
Ooh, nice.
I slapped him for 9 damage.
Wow.
Slap hits his head against a pillar.
How about that? The half elf was good at slapping.
I'm saying.
Stop it.
I got 7.
Oh gosh.
And his head hits the bar, and he just falls over.
Hey,
Bam.
it bounced.
Yeah.
Well, here.
Dink.
On my next turn, I'm gonna put that back and start playing again.
No, I'm going to pull out my short sword and attack.
Okay.
I don't know what damage short swords do. I haven't got that far.
D6.
Slashing. D6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hit.
You hit
15.
15. Okay. That's a hit.
Are you doing lethal or are you doing non-lethal?
Non-lethal.
You can still sneak attack him though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guards are that normally would not hit a guard, but
And another D6 for sneak attack, right?
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you just hit him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
how much damage is that?
5.
Plus your dex?
Oh gosh. 9.
A lot.
Wow.
He just clock him and he collapses.
Bonk.
Thank you.
Like your moves.
And I appreciate yours. Let's share some gold.
Alright. I rolled 2, so I have 0.
I don't know how much I recovered. All of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you hit 15 from me, so.
They didn't take mine.
Are you giving Thubans back?
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Strangle some gnomes.
Alright, whose turn is it?
After Zanara, it's Yakim.
Okay, so apparently passing off some gold real quick as interactive environment. That looks bad over there. Not that bad. You guys doing okay? Well, want to get out of here?
Yeah.
Okay. Loki's blessing! You have advantage on stealth rolls next minute.
Huzzah!
I'm getting out of here.
All right. Well, actually, we're gonna call it there.
Oh no.
That ended so perfectly too.
Oh, I want to finish camp, man.
I know.
What?
Guards rush in.
Oh,
They
do they
bust
stop?
in the door, fully armed guards, just kind of like, whoa! They immediately Grognar just immediately drops his sword and immediately backs up and it's like, I'm sorry. The guards come and put a hand on your shoulder. You're coming with us, and
He's coming
all
too.
of you are arrested. No,
Oh
he's not.
boy.
He stole my gold.
Well, we'll see if he stole your gold. Come with us. We'll make sure he doesn't go anywhere.
Just a musician.
All All right.
As CSI finds a rapier matching yours. A big red mark across the message.
Yes, as you are all arrested.
I'm gonna check
Just
out my
punch in a
flute
dude.
and do the Pied Piper routine
Like-
all the way back to jail.
All right, as you, they
We
disarm
confiscate
you
that.
and they disarm you. Take your weapons, put them in.
Do they take our gold?
They throw us in the dungeon.
That we have to crawl out of.
If you want to try and hide your gold, you can. As the trickery delayed cleric and the rogue.
I'm going to
Roll sleight of hand, both of you.
eat my entire life saving.
18.
No, that'd be
23.
Kuban.
Oh,
Wow,
no,
they rolled a
25.
natural one on their investigations.
Whoa! It's a good thing we had all your gold. It's the only time you can say that.
Thanks.
All right, so we'll call it there, and we'll go ahead and pick it up next time because it's 9 o'clock here in the Colorado area. So we're gonna call it there. We will be back again next week with more antics and insanity from a bunch of idiots with a lot of dice, and in this case, not a really good plan either.
Yes.
No plan.
Yes.
We're winning.
Steal from me.
We're winning D&D right now.
Yeah,
We
guys.
have all the gold. We have gold.
We have more gold than we started with, and we're not dead.
You guys do.
Yeah.
We're winning D&D.
Truly.
That's fair.
All right, we will see you guys next week.
Awesome.
Thank you for watching Idiots, Dice, and a Plan. If you liked the video, please give us a like and subscribe. If you really like the video, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Death by Dodecahedron, or shoot us an email. Links on the screen. See you wonderful folks next week.